For more than a century, across the United States, dozens of hotels shared the same terrifying secret. A single room number, 313, was linked to 21 confirmed disappearances between 1905 and 1978. There were never any bodies found, no suspects identified, no evidence left behind. There was just a shadow. This is the story of room 313, and the entity witnesses came to call the Mirror Walker. The first recorded case happened in 1905. A traveling salesman named Arthur Hale checked into room 313 in a Boston hotel. He was never seen again. Police entered his room to find a scene that was both ordinary and deeply unsettling. His suitcase was open on the stand. His clothes were neatly folded, and his bed was perfectly made, completely untouched. The window was locked from the inside, but investigators noted something even stranger. Arthur's shaving mirror, which should have been on the washstand, was lying on the floor. It was cracked down the middle. A maid, interviewed later, gave a chilling testimony. She said she glanced into the room earlier that night and saw a tall shadow reflected in the mirror. But when she looked into the room itself, there was nothing there to cast it. Arthur Hale officially became disappearance number 1. The file was closed. The nightmare had just begun. Over the next 2 decades, the pattern emerged. Hotels in Chicago, St. Louis, Detroit, and New Orleans all began reporting eerily similar events. It was always room 313. It was always at night. And it always involved a mirror found disturbed in some way. In 1919, a police report from the disappearance of a Navy officer noted something bizarre. The officer's mirror was found facing the wall, even though his roommate insisted it was facing forward when the officer went to sleep just moments earlier. The stories grew stranger. In 1924, a cleaning woman at a Chicago hotel told the Tribune, "The mirror, it breathed. I swear it exhaled warm air right on my hand." The press dismissed it as a fanciful story, but those in the hotel industry started to listen. By 1930, the total count of missing persons linked to rooms numbered 313 had reached 11. In a quiet, coordinated effort, many major hotel chains started renumbering their floors, skipping 313 entirely. Some renovated the rooms, turning them into linen closets. But some hotels, whether out of disbelief or morbid curiosity, kept it, and the disappearances continued. Then, in 1947, the legend became horrifyingly real for millions. A traveling actress named Martha Renley checked into room 313 at the historic Crescent Hotel in Arkansas. She was the only person to ever encounter the entity and lived to tell the tale. She survived, but just barely. She later reported to police that at exactly 2:13 a.m., she woke up to find her full-length mirror completely fogged over, despite the cool air in the room. As she watched, a black shape with unnaturally long limbs began to stretch across the reflection. She described how it only moved when she blinked, but would freeze in place the moment she stared directly at it. In her own words, Martha said, "It crawled toward the edge of the mirror, its fingers scraping on the inside of the glass, as if it was trying to step out. She didn't wait to see what would happen next. She fled the room screaming, alerting the entire hotel." Her testimony remains the only living eyewitness account of the entity. Her harrowing encounter became a key part of a new FBI missing persons special archive file, cryptically labeled MP. Trezum Trez. The Mirror Walker now had a face, or at least a shape. The darkest years of the phenomenon were yet to come. Between 1962 and 1978, the disappearances became more frequent and more aggressive. In 1962, 4 separate disappearances happened in the same month, all in different states, but all in a room 313. Panicked hotel managers tried everything. They covered the mirrors with heavy blankets. They boarded them up. In one hotel, they even removed the mirror from the room entirely. It didn't matter. One guest who vanished that year had brought his own travel mirror. It was found shattered on the floor. The final unsolved disappearance occurred in 1978. Alan Brooks, a schoolteacher from Ohio, was staying in a room 313 during a conference. He was gone by morning. A maid, entering to clean, found the hallway mirror just outside his room completely shattered. Alan's room was empty. The maid herself was later found unconscious on the floor, babbling the same 3 words over and over again. He stepped out. He stepped out. He stepped out. After the incident with Alan Brooks, the era of room 313 came to an end. Rooms bearing that number across America were permanently locked, sealed, or converted into windowless storage closets. The disappearances stopped as suddenly as they had begun. But the story wasn't over. The entity, the mirror walker, had vanished, but the mirrors remained. And what lies dormant can always be awakened. Have you ever felt a strange chill in a hotel hallway? Or caught a flicker of movement in a mirror out of the corner of your eye? Most of us dismiss it. A draft, a trick of the light. But what if it's not? What if it's a warning? Tonight, we re-delving into one of America's most enduring and terrifying paranormal legends. The story of room 313. It's a tale that stretches back over a century, a mystery that haunts the reflective surfaces of hotels across the country. This isn't just about a single haunted room. It's about a door that can open anywhere, at any time. So, turn down the lights, and be careful where you look. This is the unsettling truth behind room 313. The story begins not with a place, but with a presence. For over 100 years, paranormal researchers and lone survivors have described a terrifying, recurring entity. They call it the observer, the man in the glass, or simply, the tall man. The descriptions are eerily consistent. It stands around 8 feet tall, with limbs that are unnaturally long and thin, jointed in ways that defy human anatomy. But the most horrifying detail is its face, or rather, the lack of one. Where eyes, a nose, and a mouth should be, there are only smooth, shallow indentations, like a mask that has been pushed in. Its behavior is just as disturbing. The creature never moves when you're looking directly at it. You'll see it in a reflection, a mirror, a polished countertop, even the dark screen of your phone. But when you turn around, nothing is there. Survivors, those few who have encountered it and lived to tell the tale, all report the same chilling phenomenon. You don't hear it coming. There are no footsteps, no whispers, no creaking floorboards. The only sign is a subtle, nauseating distortion in the world behind you. As one survivor from a 1968 incident in a Chicago hotel wrote, "You never hear it. You just see the room behind you begin to warp, like heat rising from asphalt, and then you see him in the reflection, standing right behind you." Paranormal researchers have developed a frightening theory about its motives. They believe the entity feeds on attention, on fear. It lies dormant for years, sometimes decades, before choosing a new target. This selection process is what ties all the disparate sightings together. Once it chooses you, it marks its territory. And that mark is always the same, the number 313. The bulk of what we know comes from a period of intense investigation between 1905 and 1978. Across 21 documented cases, investigators found a pattern of bizarre physical evidence, all centered around mirrors. Mirrors in the affected rooms would crack spontaneously, but the cracks always splintered inward, as if struck from inside the glass. A thick, cold fog would appear on their surfaces, even in warm, dry rooms. Often, investigators would find strange, finger-like smears marring the reflection, streaks too long and thin to be human. In several terrifying instances, humanoid silhouettes were found permanently burned into the glass, like a photographic negative seared into the mirror itself. The most famous piece of evidence from this era is a photograph taken in 1953 inside a hotel in New Orleans. The picture, which is still archived in the Library of Congress, shows a long, empty hotel hallway. But in the large, ornate mirror on the wall, a tall black figure is clearly visible in the reflection, standing where no one is. Skeptics have long dismissed it as a simple double exposure, a common photographic error of the time. However, forensic imaging experts who have analyzed the original negative disagree. They state that the specific type of distortion and light refraction seen in the reflection is, in their words, biologically and physically impossible to replicate with a camera trick. It's as if the mirror itself captured something that wasn't truly there in our physical space. After the late 70s, the official investigations stopped, but the sightings didn't. With the rise of the internet, the legend of Room 313 found a new home. Since the 2000s, dozens of travelers have posted their unnerving experiences on forums, blogs, and social media. The stories are chillingly familiar, but with a modern twist. People report seeing fleeting movement in the mirrors of their locked hotel rooms. Some have recorded digital door locks, which should display their assigned room number, inexplicably glitching to show the number 313 for a few seconds before reverting. Others have heard soft, rhythmic tapping noises, seeming to come from inside mirrors they've covered with a towel or blanket. A common thread is the report of sudden, localized drops in temperature, a pocket of intense cold that you feel only when passing by a reflective wall or a polished elevator door. In 2011, the phenomenon went viral. A TikTok user posted a short video from an abandoned hotel in Las Vegas. The clip showed a dusty mirror in a dilapidated room, and clearly visible on its surface was a perfect, dark handprint. The hand was impossibly long, with slender fingers that didn't match any human proportion. The user's comment below the video was what truly terrified people. It read, "My friends and I explored this place. This room should be 312, according to the floor plan. But the old plaque on the door says 313. The video exploded, gaining millions of views in a day. But the mystery deepened when, just 24 hours later, the video, the account, and every repost were scrubbed from the internet. The original poster vanished, leaving behind a digital ghost and a terrifying question. What did they see that made them run? This modern wave of reports has led paranormal experts to a radical and unsettling new theory. They no longer believe Room 313 is a fixed location. It's not a specific room in a specific hotel that you can avoid. They believe Room 313 is a doorway, a mobile threshold. The number isn't an address. It's a sign, a marker that the entity places to designate its new hunting ground. It's a tear in the fabric of our reality, one that manifests through reflective surfaces. This means it could be any hotel, any city, any night. The entity doesn't haunt a place, it creates one. A room that was 500 to one night might become 313 the next, its door number glitching, its mirrors growing cold. Your reflection is no longer just your own. It's a window, and something is looking back. The entity chooses a location, marks it with its number, and waits for its chosen victim. The mirror in your hotel room, the polished chrome of the bathroom fixtures, the dark screen of your television, any of them could become the next Room 313. So what does this all mean for you, the traveler, the person staying in an unfamiliar room, far from home? It means that some legends are more than just stories. They are warnings. The lure of Room 313 isn't about avoiding a single haunted building. It's about being aware of the spaces we occupy, and the thin veil that separates our world from another. It's a reminder that when you look into a mirror, you might not be alone. So, if you're ever traveling in the US and the front desk hands you a key card for Room 313, ask for a different room. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just a coincidence. But if it's not, it's better not to find out. And if they can't change your room, do yourself a favor. Don't look in the mirror. Thanks for watching. For more terrifying stories that lurk in the shadows of our world, make sure you subscribe to Tales of the Dark, where every shadow hides a story.